What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of SIBZ. Now today we're talking about the Avengers, and we're going to be looking into something that's been driving me and probably tons of other people crazy since the movie's release on Friday. Today we are talking Avengers Endgame timeline. Okay, so here I've got all the Avengers 1 through 4 in 2012, 2015, 2018, and 2019. Now, there are two concepts I believe we have to understand in order to get an idea of how time works in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Number one, the snap is fixed. The snap that takes place in Avengers Infinity War is a fixed point in time. It's locked. It can't be changed. The second thing we have to understand is the personal timeline, and I'll explain more about that later. Okay, so the snap is fixed. This means that simply going back in the past and changing something won't have a ripple effect that changes the future. That's why they can't just go back and kill baby Thanos and make everything better. So they're still going after the gauntlet, but they're not using it to change time. They're actually going to be using its power to bring back the victims of the snapping. This is later backed up by Peter Parker when he first arrives in Endgame in the final battle scene, and he's talking to Tony, explaining how for him it seemed like a short amount of time, but then Doctor Strange tells Peter that it's actually been 5 years since they were gone. So two snaps take place. The first one is by the Hulk. This snap is used to bring all the snapping victims back in the year 2023. This is not rewriting all these characters back into history in the years between 2018 and 2023. It's simply ploop dropping them back alive in the year 2023. So all the people who didn't get erased still lived all these years without their loved ones. Now we're going to get into the second snap, but first we need to talk about 2014 Guardians of the Galaxy, okay? So we've got Thanos here in 2014. Let's move this up a little bit. So we've got Thanos here in 2014 with Guardians of the Galaxy between these two movies right here. Now in Avengers Endgame, Thanos becomes aware of a time-traveling nebula. He uses the connection between 2014 Nebula and time-traveling Nebula in order to find out about the inevitability of the snap. This is where Thanos first becomes aware that the snap is inevitable and it is his destiny. Hence all the talk in Infinity War about destiny still arriving and him being inevitable after the snap.
Dread it, run from it, destiny still arrives.
Thanos becomes fully aware in 2014 that the snap is going to happen and no one can stop it. Now, despite this movie being 3 hours, Marvel was very careful about what they showed you in this scene. And if you recall, Thanos also becomes aware that he dies shortly after the snap. Now, for some reason, he seems to be okay with this. After seeing his death, he actually says, quote, "And that is destiny fulfilled." So after achieving his purpose, he seems perfectly okay with dying. But the third thing he becomes aware of in this scene is that the Avengers attempt to undo everything he's done. And that's what prompts him to take a trip from 2014 to 2013 to stop the Avengers from undoing it all. Now we finally get to the second snap with Iron Man. Now a lot of people think Thanos died in this scene, but that can't be true because he dies in 2018 by Thor. So instead of dying here, Thanos actually gets sent back to 2014 cursed with knowledge. Once again reinforcing his talk about destiny and being cursed with knowledge in the events of Avengers Infinity War.
Stark, you know me? I do. You're not the only one cursed with knowledge.
He's forced to live out the rest of his life cursed with knowledge. Now you might be asking, why wouldn't Thanos just try again, just go back to 2023? So if you remember, the first thing Thanos actually did when he got to 2023 was destroy the time machine when he destroyed Avengers HQ. And in doing so, he closed his way back into the year 2023 to try again. Now finally, I want to talk about personal timelines. So here we have Thanos' personal timeline, and in this timeline he lives normally 2012 to 2014, but here in 2014 he becomes aware of three things. One, that he snaps, which he's okay with. The second thing, that he dies, which is destiny fulfilled. But the third thing he can't live with is the Avengers taking back everything that he did. This prompts him to take the trip to 2023, all in his personal timeline. He lives some of his life in 2023 at this point. But then after the Iron Man snap, he gets sent back to 2014, still in his personal timeline, and then he's forced to live the last 4 years of his life cursed with knowledge.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same.
So guys, I hope this makes sense. I know you guys are gonna poke a million holes in this. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. So go ahead and leave a comment down below. If this made a little bit of sense, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. Also subscribe for more superhero-like content. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.